Hello and welcome to Dusk Hobbies. Today I have the second update for my stone wards from the Dragons and Lasers Deuslair Kickstarter. I have two miniatures, both of which are around 95% complete. However, they still need their detailed bases painted. The remaining two stone wards are about 50% complete and are currently sitting on my painting desk. With a bit of luck, I will be able to finish them this weekend and film my final review next week. I will admit, while I love painting miniatures and I find it very relaxing and therapeutic, the reality is that I don't have enough time to sit down and paint often. I am currently reaching for any spare moment I have to be able to complete these stone wards. Fortunately, though, the end is in sight. So as I said before, we have the first two stone wards, and I feel like I've already learned quite a bit from painting them. As I've mentioned, I have been really enjoying the process. However, when I painted the Royal Guards about a month ago, I was aiming to get as much detail in as possible. I used very small brushes, I tried to keep my lines very defined and straight, and I made my first real attempt at using washes. The stone wards have not been like that at all. The process itself has been far more freeform, for lack of a better description. When I started the first stone ward, which is the one that is sitting on the right of the screen, I was really trying to establish a base color scheme. I flipped from brown earthy tones and eventually settled on a more grey stone focus. The main technique I've been practicing with these minis is dry brushing. Dry brushing is a technique in which you load up the brush with paint, wipe most of it off on a paper towel so that very little remains, and then run the brush along the miniature so that the paint catches the most raised parts of it. On the first miniature, I also managed to pick out a lot of the branch details in brown. This is something which I changed on the second miniature just to see how it would impact the overall result. I then gave my first mini a top coat to protect it. Now, unfortunately, I did use a gloss top coat. This is very evident when comparing to my second attempt, and it's also the reason why it has more of a plasticky look. For the second miniature, though, there were a few things which I wanted to try. Firstly, after seeing the branch details coloured in, I decided it took too much away from the overall grey colour scheme, and I wanted to omit it from the rest of the minis. I also noted that there were a lot of arcane symbols and carvings, such as on the core of the mini and the arms. I wanted to highlight this, so I used the same blue which I coloured the forehead gem in with. I was really happy with how these turned out, as I feel it made the miniature look more cohesive. I'm not sure if it's something that I will use on the remaining two, but it does give this one a bit more of a magical construct feeling. Comparing these two minis, I feel that I did a much better job of dry brushing on the second mini. I think it has just the right amount of that lighter stone grey colour compared to the first. Though again, this could just be because of the gloss top coat on the first one. As I mentioned, it does give it more of a shiny, almost plastic-like finish. It's very evident when you look at the top of the minis, in particular on the branches here, as opposed to the branches here. Again, this is something that I can learn from. This is something that I can improve from. It's something that I might go back, and if I have enough top coat left over, that's matte, not gloss, I'll go back and I'll put it on the first one in order to fix up this mistake. To be honest, I'm rather proud of these two miniatures, and I look forward to being able to put them on my gaming table before my players and see how a battle plays out. I'm also looking forward to my next video, where I talk more about the lore of the stone wards, where they can be found in the world of Deuslair, the continent of Colonia, and which enemies are able to summon them. That being said, I've got to get back to the painting table now. As always, thank you for watching.